Computer. Hello. All right. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday night huddles. I am super excited, super pumped. Love these calls as always. So, if you guys are in a place where you are able to take off or put your video on so that we can see your awesome faces, go ahead and do so, because I just love seeing everyone's faces and being able to have that connection. And like energy feeds energy, right? So like I can see your face, I can see what you think, like not what you're thinking, I'm not that crazy, but I know, you know what I mean? Like I can see the smiles and stuff like that. And that just always is so super helpful. So tonight we're going to be shifting a little bit, but before we get started and jump on, let's just take a moment. I see Vitae saying she has mom chaos going on at home right now. And like totally, okay, so before we get into gratitude, raise your hand if you have a child who is still home on summer break. Raise your hand if you're done. You're like, when is September coming? They just need a little bit of a break when they go to school, right? It is August. It is chaos in general. And I know I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and Travis and I had this conversation just yesterday in the car, just talking about August is a really busy month. Does anyone else feel that like you just have you feel like you're juggling a million things right now, right? It's like back to school, or you're like gearing up for something, like you're gearing up for the fall. And even if you don't have kids, like there's something about August, like the end of summer, you're like trying to squeeze everything into that. Like you're like, there's 3 weeks left of summer, and in September I'll get back to routine. Like I know for me, like I keep being like, all right, September, I'm gearing up for September to get back to routine, just like even in my eating and stuff like that, or like what I do on Sundays. So I don't know, like August can just seem really hectic. So if you're like in this spot right now and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel like chaos, just like rest and assure and appreciate and have gratitude that like, you're not alone, right? Like we are all kind of doing this together. So like just taking that moment right now, like in the comments, what is one thing? And if it's more than one, spray it to us, right? Like what are all the things you're really, really grateful and appreciative of, like right in this moment, right now? And just go ahead and just drop it in the comments and share it, and we'll just spread. Like I just think it's a really good way to start like every call or every single morning. And it's kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight, actually. So it's a good way to get started. So no one has anything to be grateful for? Oh, here we go. I am home to drive my son to his first day of preschool today. Oh, Janelle, that's amazing. Congratulations. Oh, that's amazing. And pick him up. Best feeling in the world, right? Whoa, I spoke too soon. Here we go. A moment of quiet. Yes. These are like, sometimes these calls are just awesome because you're like, like I live with all boys. Like they talk about farts all day. Like it's nice to get away and have some like real conversation, right? My boyfriend booking a last minute. Oh, Anita, that's exciting. Congratulations. Maturing teenager showing more responsibility. Very nice, Dixie. Like that's a hard age to have an opportunity to homeschool my kids. High school and down now. Goal is to be a stay-at-home mom. Oh, Casey, homeschooling. You have all my adoration for homeschooling. Grateful for the first day daycare going well today. I had a hard time, but they were amazing. That's so good. It rained today. It did rain today. Grateful that school's starting next week. Encouraging friends and family. Because we don't have any air conditioning. Oh goodness. Is it hot? It must be so hot. I'm grateful for my girls' health. Having a week next week. Home with your little guy, good. Grateful for life, being able to send my daughter to preschool. Grateful for summer with my kids, stepping out of my comfort zone. This is my first meeting. Welcome, Christy. Oh, everyone say hi to Christy. It's your first meeting for feeling healthy. My son had a pre-K meeting with his teacher. Awesome. Like, because there's so many things to be thankful for sometimes if we just stop and literally just like think about it, right? Like I am so grateful it rained today. Like I really am. Like I absolutely love rain in and of itself. But okay. So we have that gratitude done, and then any celebrations that you want to drop in the comments. I know we especially have, and I think it was last week, the first week of August. Was that the first Tuesday of August? What was that like? It must have been, right? It was last week, the first Tuesday in August. God, where am I? So, like, what day is it? This is what August feels like to me. I'm like, wait a second. Didn't August just start? No, we're already halfway through it, you guys. Welcome. Welcome to halfway through August. We're almost to September. But I don't know if I even had a chance to do this then. And maybe I totally forgot last week, but Megan Passeri, I'm going to screw up her last name so bad. Megan Passeri hit champ in July. So we have a brand new champ that we welcomed onto our team, which is super exciting. Any other celebrations, someone you want to celebrate? I know we are killing new volume. You guys are already slaying this month. Like, it's insane. Reboot sales were insane. First promoter. Oh, welcome, Michelle. Yes, welcome, Michelle. We have brand new promoters. First Canada customer. That's huge. First time watching a video. Oh, yay, good welcome. So we have so many things. We have so many people that are doing just amazing thing within this community, whether they're selling their very first 10-day, you guys, or maybe this is the first time they're taking time away from their kids and saying, I'm going to work on my business and I'm going to do that. And so I think it's important that we like look and grow and celebrate everybody all in between. So a couple announcements and then we are going to get started today. Oh yeah, Jen Peterson just sold her first 10-day. Oh, that's exciting. Yay. See, like these are things that are so exciting, guys, to be able to celebrate stuff like that. So announcement. So August mentorship has officially kicked off, and I talked about this last week. I'm just going to reiterate it, and then lots of things are in the works right now, right? Hold on. I feel like, did someone just come off mute? Okay. Can you hear? Okay. Was that just me? Right? Did everyone hear that? Okay. So, all right. So August mentorship has officially kicked off. So what that is going to look like, you guys, is that we're going to have actually the units in our group, and I'm condensing them down. So they're going to be 10 units, right? Don't mind the dust. It's a work in progress as I'm getting in there every day to get focus on it and get it condensed down to those 10 lessons, not units, 10 lessons. We're working on creating a PDF to go with it, but the August mentorship right now looks like I'm calling it like a cohort, right? Like where basically anyone who started in July, we're going to do Monday calls for 4 weeks. And then we're going to that's going to close out for just new promoters. And then we're going to start September, and we're going to start September 1st. I'm just going to do a back-to-back call that first week to kind of close out one, start the other, and that way we can get on track. So it'll be the first Monday of every single month moving forward. It'll be just a 4-week call cycle. And then new promoters we have this that we're going to be focusing on, our team huddles. We have all the other support in there for people as they're moving beyond that. So just stay tuned to that. Also our sneak peek. I know there's it's pretty awesome to see how many people are creating and running their own sneak peeks. That is amazing. I think that's awesome, you guys. So the one that I run that all are welcome to join. It's organizational wide for anybody who has anybody who's a potential or anything like that. Begins tomorrow. So I did our welcome video today. You can send out links and have people join. If you are in that group, go ahead and make sure that we're being really, this sounds bad, but we're being loud in there, right? We're really welcoming people. We're bringing our energy. We're bringing that sense of community, because I don't know about you, but once people experience this community just a little bit, they can't get enough, right? And energy feeds energy. It just keeps going and growing. And so I think making sure that we can get in there and just celebrating the people that are in there and watching. We have brand new stories that we're sharing. We have more content coming for us. So this is the time that you talk to people and you ask people and you be like, have you ever considered doing what I do? And if they're like, well, I don't know, what does it entail? Be like, we have this group. You can just go check it out. Do you want the link? It's nothing. You can just go. It's like Amazon shopping. You could just go and you can window shop online, pretty much looking at learn different things, be a fly on the wall. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to, and kind of move on from there. They just announced Playbook cities. We don't know. The tickets have not been dropped yet. September 14th. It is Vegas, Dallas, Louisville, and Philly. So if you are in one of those places, or you are within driving distance, I'm talking if you can drive 6 hours, you can drive 8 hours, get there. The Playbook event, I know, Abby, it's so exciting. The Playbook event, you guys, literally was like we got so much content and so much knowledge. It is an amazing price point. Get to the event. Stay tuned to your pulse. I don't know when tickets are going to be getting pulsed out. I don't know which trainers are going to be in which cities, but I'm telling you, out of all of the trainers that are there, you can't choose the wrong place. Like, you honestly cannot choose. Like, we got Jessie Lee and Dustin, and I learned so many new things. I know there's Michael, there's Katie, there's Nick Martinez, Kendra. I'm probably Mitch does it, right? Like, there's so Stephanie and Stephen Milky, like stuff like that. Like, you're gonna get knowledge and training that you wouldn't get anyplace else, and it's so important that you are able to get to one of those playbook events. So stay tuned to your pulse. If you guys have questions, make sure you reach out to your closest COC, right? And be like, all right, what's going on? What are these playbook events? Do I need to get to it? What does it look like? And they will give you all of the information. And with that being said, Hacking Better tickets still available. They are selling out. Guys, Hacking Better Louisville. Like, if you can make it happen, make it happen. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, the thought leaders that are going to be there, David Goggins is going to be there. Like, guys, like, we build our business event to event to event, because when people go to an event, and that's myself included, like, I went to my first event and I walked out of there hair on, like, raise your hand if you want to, like, the first event changed everything for your business. Like, yeah, like, there's so, like, it changes everything for your business. You have a whole different level of awareness. You have a whole different level of what Prove It is about. Yes, and the theater that Hacking Better is going to be in is magical. Like, there's just something about it that BU is just a totally different person. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. Hacking Better, like, what do you want to do to be there? Like, what does that mean to you? Like, we literally are, oh, good, you got your ticket for Playbook. Okay, are they out? Are they out? Did they release them on the Pulse? I don't know. So I'll get back to that. Oh, tickets are $47, you guys. Get to Playbook. Get to the Playbook event right now. Pick your city, buy your ticket, figure out your location and lodging later. But I'm telling you, get your tickets. They do sell out. I'm telling you guys, are going to change your business. Like, let's have, like, our organization have the most humans in every single seat, in every single location. We're all going to be like, woo! Okay. So, all right. So what are these calls going to be about? So this is something that we've been talking about in the works for a really long time. And so for a really long time, myself, along with some leaders, we've been talking about wanting to do, we had that new mentorship program that we got put into place. And then we were like, all right, but what about that next level? Like, what are those next steps and tactical things that people need to know from going from MVP to COC, right? And I've been, like, it's so funny. Like, when I get ideas, I'll just start writing things down. Like, I just literally brain dump crap, especially when I get out of the shower, right? I'm like, like, I just have to write things down. And I've been writing over and over again, MVP to COC, MVP to COC. And like, what does that mean? What does that look like? All of that things. And so what we decided is that instead of creating a separate group where we can be like, we're going to do like this next level thing, we decided, like, let's honor everybody's time and let's use these huddles to come up with very tactical things. Like, what are the things it takes to get from MVP to COC? So let's start with this. If you have hit MVP, or you hit an MVP multiplier at one point, meaning you got the 2,000 new volume, or you're in your MVP period, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. If you hit MVP, you've hit an MVP multiplier, or you're in your MVP period. All right. Look at all those. Someone put a 2. I didn't even tell you what 2 is yet, you guys. You can't read my mind. Jen's like, whoops. Okay, number 2. All right, number 2 is going to be, if you are someone who is striving to hit MVP, multiply. Oh, there is a spider that just went down my window that is literally this big. It's on the outside. Holy crap. I'm going to start sweating. It's so big. Oh, God. No one come visit me. It's so big. All right. Oh, I'm sweating already because it freaked me out. Okay. Whew. All right. If you are looking to hit MVP or hit that multiplier, 2,000 new volume to earn that $150 cash this month, drop a 2 in the comments. Even if you already hit MVP, right? Like I know I'm a 1 and I'm definitely a 2 because I'm like, I'm going, right? Like we are hitting this MVP. It's like a non-negotiable. So when you hit MVP, you guys, like there's 2 things, right? And when you're going for MVP and the things you do to get to MVP are a little bit different than the things you're going to do to hit COC. However, that's when you're first starting your business. These calls are going to be focused on like, if you can hit MVP one time, oh my God, Travis, there's another one. Oh, I'm going to move my laptop, you guys. It is big. It is massively large outside of my window. Trav, can you come here? Can you come here? He's gonna be like, are you kidding me? You're in the middle of a call. I'm sorry. Okay, so it is, I think it's a wolf spider. He's like, I know, I'm recording. What is that? That.
What are you talking about?
That.
Oh, it's just a big ass spider. It's outside. Look
I
how
know.
fast it is. It's just a wolf spider.
Okay.
Look at it, it's going up and down.
I know. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I just brought everyone. The whole team just joined in on that.
It's outside.
Hi. Yep. Look, Zach's showing us the wolf spider. That's exactly what it is. It's massive. All right. I guys, I have like a fear of spiders. So like, that's like it's a thing that I'm not going to sleep tonight. Okay. So back to MVP versus COC. Sorry. So the things that you're going to do are going to be like when you're first getting started, they're going to look like one thing, right? However, it's going to be the same action repeated over and over and over and over and over again beyond that is going to get you to COC. So if you are wanting to hit COC, we have like, it's the same things, but I'm going to tell you right now, there are going to be 2 things, right? That's it. 2 things that are going to take you from MVP to COC. And if you want to hit COC, right? Like who wants to hit COC? Raise your hand, right? Like you want to COC? You want to, right? Like you want to be a champ, whether you want a car or not, right? Like you're like, no, like I just want to be a champ. Like I want to be a part of that, right? There are 2 things, ready? So get your pen, because these are the things we're going to talk about. 2 things only. That's it. You're like, what? What is this? I can't focus because it's literally like dancing in front of me. It's taunting me. But 2 things. Here we go. The first thing is going to be you need spirit, right? Just like I'm such a cheerleader. We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? Right? So number 1, you're going to need spirit. Number 2, you're going to need structure, right? So spirit and structure. And both of those things matter. So what do they look like? So number 1, spirit. Spirit's going to mean like enthusiasm, right? Like if you go to talk about ketones to someone and you're like, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you drinking? And you sit there and you do that, like where you're kind of like dangling your foot and you're like, oh, it's just this thing that I drink and it makes me feel good. Have you heard of ketone? Like how many people that when someone asks you what you're drinking or asks you what you do, you like shut down. You're like, what do you do? You're like, I sell white powder on the internet. Like, no, like, which is what we do. But like, seriously, like you shut down. Like spirit is enthusiasm, guys. It's having belief. It's belief in the product. It's belief in the company. It's belief in this community. It's belief in what we do and in this business. Like, does network marketing work? Like, of course it does. Like, you would not be here if you did not believe that, right? Like, you have to have that belief. It's your mindset. It's that gratitude. It's practicing appreciation, and it's going to be motivation and inspiration, right? So that's the first thing, right? Like you need to have spirit. And the second thing that you need is you need to have structure. Structure are going to be those tactical things that you need to do and repeat over and over again. It's going to be your DMOs. It's going to be skills like learn it, like posting on social media or having keto life parties. It's going to be just doing those actionable steps that are tactical, right? Skills like over and over again, right? So spirit, and then you're going to have structure. And so what this is, you guys, is this like having those 2 things is going to be what brings you to get you to MVP, and it's going to be what gets you from MVP, then therefore to COC. And I'm going to share something with you guys really fast that I made. Hold on. And I think it's going to put this into perspective for everyone. If you are currently, hold on, I want to pull this up before I share, because you guys are going to be horrified by my, here we go. So what I made is, a lot of the times we talk about, can everybody see this? Yes. Okay, so I made an MVP to COC roadmap, and I probably should have it in a place where like you guys can actually view it. There we go. So can everyone see this? So a lot of the times what we do when we're thinking about going from MVP to COC, right? Or maybe you didn't hit MVP, or you're in the period, or you're just getting started, or wherever you are in your business currently at this state tonight, right? What we do is we constantly are looking at the top of the mountain. We're constantly thinking 30,000 volume, holy crap, like I'm never going to get there. Raise your hand if you've ever had that thought that you'll never achieve 30,000 volume because you think it's like insanely a large amount of volume, right? It's okay. Like we've all been there. Like we've all had that moment. It doesn't matter where you are in your business, right? So, but when you're doing and you're achieving and you're going and you're climbing and you're wanting to get to that top of the mountain, if you're constantly looking at that tip, and BU talks about this all the time, if you're constantly looking at that tip of the mountain, you guys, it's going to feel so impossible. But if you look at your feet and you think about step after 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 step, oh my gosh, I'm almost there, right? Like when I'm on my treadmill, or when I used to run, right? Like when I'm on my treadmill, like I can't look at the time. I literally just have to look down at my feet, put my earpods in, and I just stay in my lane and I run. And then I'm like, okay, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, right? It's those little chunks and those little steps. So I created this MVP to COC roadmap, and I'll put it in the poll so you guys can take it, download it, have it for you. You can laminate it if you want to like reuse it every month. I don't care what you do. You can say, look at this and say you never want to use it. I don't care. This is just something that I make because I think it's really, really helpful. But when you're thinking about COC, what if you broke it down into MVP, right? That's it. You just break it down to those simple sets of MVP. So every single month, you promise yourself you're going to hit MVP, 2,000 new volume, right? Every single month. And then maybe you do it 2 times, maybe you do it 3 times, right? Or maybe you're sitting there and you're like, all right, I'm going to go MVP. I'm going to help 2 people on my team hit that goal, that MVP goal. And then as you grow as other people on your team or yourself, as you're getting more 2,000 volume, you can just simply cross it out. You can color it in. Maybe at the beginning of the month, you start road mapping and planning. You write your name. All right, I'm going to put my name in this first circle, Trish. And you know what? I'm getting, 6,000 new volume this month. So I'm going to just put my name here because that's my goal. 6,000 new volume, Trish. And then I can say, and I can go and I'm like, all right, who else do I need to hit 2,000 volume? And it doesn't have to be new, but like within my organization in order for me to grow, right? So I might be like, I'm just looking at people that are here. So I might say, okay, so there's Stacy. So I'm going to put Stacy. I know Stacy, she can rock out 4,000 volume. Her team pulls in at least 10, whatever. I'm going to put her and count her for here, or this, or I'm going to have to make up this much volume. You can map it out with where you want that volume to come from. And then as you're achieving it, you can cross it off. Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, well, I don't have a team. That's okay, you guys. Like, we don't expect you to get to the top of the mountain tomorrow. We don't expect you to get to the top of a mountain. This is simply a roadmap that you can use to help you grow along the way and every single month. So maybe you're not looking at hitting MVP, or hitting COC at the end of this month if you're sitting at 2,000 volume right now. However, if you're like, but I want to hit it in September or I want to hit it in October, this is your roadmap. This is what you use. This is how you get from A to B in the tactical way. This is the structure of it. So that's the roadmap that I'm going to just go right back to here. So beyond that, right? So we have it, the roadmap, where to go, you have that thing, like all of that stuff is in place. Now back to the spirit and the structure and talking about both of them, okay? And I don't know if Lauren's on here. She's probably like, oh my God, Lauren Webb. But like, I get so much of my like inspiration. Like I hear things in like a message at church and I'm like, oh my God, that's so business, right? And so this is like similar to a message I heard in church. But here's the thing. This is what I see in the business is I see people doing one or the other. Number one, if you're feeling stuck in your business, you're either one, you are spending all of your time on the spirit side of it. You're spending all of your time, you wake up and you practice gratitude. You have the prettiest dream board. And guys, if you're someone who, if you're a teacher and you have that pretty dream board, like more power to you. Like that's a gift, right? You're manifesting, you're buying every single book, right? You're doing all of that and you're counting that as your structure. These are the things that are going to get me to COC, right? You're not doing any income generating activity. You're sitting there and you're practicing things. You're getting the books, but you're not reading the books, right? You're getting the books and you're not implementing those things that go for it, right? You're so focused on that motivation, inspiration, enthusiasm, right? Maybe you're like trying to learn all of this. Thing is still standing outside of my window. So I need to take a picture so I can send it to you guys when we're all done. But seriously, like you're focusing on one side of it. Or I see the other side where people are so focused on the structure. And when I say structure, I mean like the tactical, analytical side of it, right? Maybe you're one of those people that like, you're just like, all right, I have to message 20 people today, and you sit there and and be honest, like how many people sometimes you sit down to do the work and you're like, I really don't feel like doing this, but I'm just doing this to check this off my list, right? Like seriously, Nat, raise your hand. Thanks for being honest. Like sometimes you do it to check it off. Guys, there's been times that I've done gratitude to just check it off my list. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm like, I gotta practice gratitude. I'm so thankful, right? No one's perfect. Like, we all come from the same, you know what I mean? Like, we're all gonna have those moments and those days, but like, you focus so much on the structure. And here's the thing, intention matters. Your intention matters. So if you don't have the belief, you don't have the spirit, you don't have the enthusiasm or any of that mindset behind it, when you go to talk to somebody about ketones, they're going to hear it in your voice. They're going to see it in the text. They're going to know it was a copy and paste message. You can't just focus on one thing or the other. Like, you have to find the balance in both of them. And is that easy to do on every single day? Of course it's not. But that's the thing that's going to make you grow, right? Focusing on just gratitude and all of those awesome, amazing miracle morning things, they're not going to grow your business. They're not income generating activities. They're getting you ready, right? Like that's part of it. That's half of it. But the other half means actually jumping in and doing the equation. So I'm going to walk you through 4 steps that are going to help you kind of bust through, and how do you balance both of them? Like, how do you find that, how can I carry that, the spirit of Prove It, the spirit of this business on one side, and also implement the structure in order to hit 2,000 new volume, in order to hit new volume, or to hit COC, or to do that, right? And so number 1 is going to be create a space for both of them. And when I say space, I don't mean like an actual physical space, but a time space, right? If you have an hour to work a day, right? You cannot just read personal development, do some gratitude, and say, I did some DMOs today, and drink your ketones. You've done, that's an amazing thing for you, but it takes more than that if you're looking to grow a business. If you're looking just to grow yourself, that's fine. But if you're looking to grow professionally versus personally, you need to be able to make that space for both. So I personally wake up at, I wake up 5:30, because Griff gets up, he's an early riser. I don't wake up at 5 a.m. because I'm sprying out of bed and I don't talk to people for an hour. I'm rude. Travis hates me in the morning because I'm leave me alone. I'm not like this, right? But I wake up early, so I have the opportunity to work on myself personally before I have to do anything else. Then after that's done, I shower, I do what I need to do, and then I have a separate time in my day that is when I work on my business, right? And if I only have an hour because I'm traveling, or I have to do this, or I'm juggling a million other things, that hour will be spent on income generating activities. What are income generating activities? Anything you do that's producing income, right? Creating banners is not income generating, right? Income generating activity is usually having conversations with people. It's my focus hour. It's our power hour. It's your DMOs. How many of you have a list of DMOs print it off somewhere, whether you got it from the new promoter or you're learning or you got it from, right? Like there's DMOs that we have that you like, and they come in so many different shapes and forms, right? I know Melissa has a set of DMOs that are freaking bomb, right? People, and like at different levels, you're going to have different levels of DMOs. So create that space for both, right? And like hear my heart on this, you guys, like if that means that you have to get up earlier than you want to get that personal time in, do it. How many here do a miracle morning of some sort? Put like a 1 in the comments or whatever, right? Like, does it not change everything about your day? Like, everything about your day. Like, it makes things different. Like, it just, like, you have, like, a different focus. And am I saying that's the only time to practice that? Of course not, because your day is structured a lot differently than my day. You have a different situation. Like, all things are different. Like, Griffin wakes up really early. That's my time. So create space for both of them, you guys. When are you going to work on yourself personally? When are you going to work on yourself professionally? Number 2, and I don't know, like some of you guys are new, maybe you know, like number 2, I called this one, I was like writing it out. Plant the seed. Plant the seed. So what does plant the seed mean? We talked about different stages of business before. We talked about people that they want to grow this massive harvest, right? You're like, oh my gosh, Ashley has this massive apple tree and I want a tree that looks just like hers, right? Like I want that apple tree. And you're holding on to the seed and you're like, just holding on to it. And you're like, when you're petting the seed and you talk to it and you're practicing gratitude with it and you're like, I'm so thankful for this seed, right? And you're doing all the things. You're looking at what Ashley's doing. You're looking at what Melissa's doing. You're looking at what Tiffany's doing, right? You're looking at what all of these other people are doing. You're buying books on Amazon. Guys, I am a professional book buyer on Amazon. I will buy, like I used to be able, like literally a box of Amazon, I'd had like 7 books come and I'd maybe read one of them, right? But I would buy books, and we watched this video. They call it shelf help. You just buy books and you kind of read them, you kind of put them back. It's like not a big thing, right? You're creating your vision board. You're manifesting every single morning, but you're not taking action. Plant the damn seed. Yes, Elaine, plant the damn seed. Stop looking at your seed. Stop thinking about it. You want that tree. You need to put it in the ground and get started and take action every single solitary day, you guys. So whether it's reading a book, whether it's watching one of these team huddles, right? Or maybe you're like watching replays or you're jumping on State of Play, whatever it is, you need to take action. Do you guys realize that after you learn, and this, I'm not quoting this because this is not me, this is from that video I watched, me and Charles watched this amazing video, but literally like so you can watch a video, you can take all of these notes. I have notebooks of notes from every single experience I've had with Prove It, all of the training I've done. 48 hours after you learn something or you write something down, your brain loses 80% of it. Not 20, not 30. It doesn't matter how many ketones you drank or how much MCT oil you got in you that morning. 80% you lose, you guys, unless you do what? You put it into action, because action creates confidence. It creates repetitiveness. Like you implement it, it becomes part of you, but you lose 80% if you don't take action. Take the action. Take the action with the gratitude in the morning, buy the book, but read the book, then implement the book, right? You have to be able to do, if you don't use it, you lose it. That is very true. If you don't lose it, you do lose it. So I can't stop that. So literally, like, you have to be able to do that. Stop being an information gatherer. And this comes with structure, you guys. Like when I talk about the structure side, tactical skills, stop watching videos on all the things Prove It. And I don't mean don't get on huddles. Like do it, but don't do it just to become an information gatherer. Apply it. Do the things. Stop learning everything there is to learn about ketones. Just talk to people. You already know everything you need to know about ketones because you're here. You had an experience. That's what your people want from you. They want to know why you're drinking them. Why do you feel good on them? They don't need to know what Dr. Ryan Lowry said or what Dr. Ken Ford said or that NASA was the one that did this X, Y, Z, all of it, or all the ingredients, right? Like they don't need to know all of that. And they may ask you what the ingredients are, but they don't ask what the ingredients are when they're doing a drive-through at McDonald's, right? Like they're asking because they may not be at the place where they're ready yet. But like, stop getting ready to get ready to do the things. Can we all promise me that you will plant your seed? Stop looking at it. Stop wishing it to grow. If you want the harvest, plant the seed. Okay, so that's number 2. So create time, plant your seed, do the things, right? Number 3, find a way to track them, right? And I mean both of them. So what I have is I have a planner. If you guys don't have this, like, I mean, you guys do your thing, but like I am in love with my this planner, right? Oh, I see other people have it. This planner is awesome. And so what I love about it is that it literally has a spot on the bottom of every day, right? Or every week. And it talks about like, read your vision, do your goals. And then I fill in, did I do my gratitude? Did I do my meditation that day? Did I do my personal development? But then I add in my must-do DMOs. If I only had time for certain things, what are the 5, 6, 7 things that I can do to make my business grow that day? What is it called? Yes, got it from Amazon. It's called the Rise Up Planner. It's amazing. And it walks you through everything. But guys, like I can fill it in, and that is how I track it. Right? I can track to make sure that I worked on my mindset that day. And I can also track to make sure I did the tactical skills. And then at the end of the week or 3 days into the week, I can look back at my check marks and I could be like, ew, that's why I'm a grumpy, like bitch today. Like I haven't been reading any personal development, or I haven't been doing this, or I was doing this, or hey, why don't I have any follow-ups today? Oh, because I haven't talked to anybody in the last 7 days, right? Like you have to be able to track your progress. You can't, like, guys, listen to me. You cannot go based on your gut feeling, because you're always going to, like, as a business owner, right? You have to be your best boss and your worst boss, right? A lot of the times we'll like work for like 3 hours. We worked for 3 hours, and part of those 3 hours was commenting on my picture. Maybe it was commenting on this person's stories, doing this, doing that, doing this. Guess how much work you got done? 0. You're confusing being busy with doing work. Just because our business is on social media doesn't mean you get into the time suck of social media. You need to be able to distinguish that, and you need to have a place where you can track it and know exactly where you're going, right? Set your timer and go. And like that, like I know, like when we talk about power hours, it's all about the timer. Like I race against my timer. Like I'm literally like, okay, I'm going to set 20 minutes. How many new conversations am I going to starting? I'm going to set 20 minutes, like, or I do 10 minutes to connect and engage with people on social media, because if I go beyond 10 minutes, once I get into that 15, 20 minute range, next thing I know, I'm watching weird cat videos. I'm watching what so-and-so, like I go into a vortex. Like I can get sucked into the biggest vortex in the world on social media. I'm the most guilty person of that all the time. And so I have to set my timer and I go, but track it. Write down every time you read a book, and you read it from start to finish, because I am a guilty human. I don't finish books. Like I'll get like halfway through a book and I'll be like, I feel like I should need something different right now. It just isn't speaking to me. And that's fine, because like sometimes you do need that. But literally write down the books that you're reading and keep track of it. How many personal development books have you read, right? How many, or listened to on Audible? Has it been like 2 in the past 7 months? Like, guys, we can read more than 2 books in 7 months. My kindergartens used to have to read like 10 books in like by the last 6 months of the school year, right? So like make sure that you're having a moment to track it. And then the last thing is going to be reflection. Okay? When are you going to take that time to reflect upon it all? Like reflect upon your business, reflect upon like that motivation mindset side of it. Okay? So this is, and again, guys, I really should just post this video in the Pulse because Travis sent it to me and we watched it together, and it's like, literally it was like all these facts that I got. But like at the end of the, like maybe at the end of the night or maybe at the beginning of every week, take some time. And I want you to set 6 goals for yourself for the next day. And you're like 6, but like for the next day or for the following week. And 3 of them are going to be personal, right? And personal doesn't always have to mean like weight loss and stuff like that, but maybe they're your 3 personal growth goals that you're looking for. Maybe it's, I will read personal development tomorrow. I will implement, or I will do this. And then 3 professional goals. Your professional goals should have nothing to do with mindset. They should be, what are the 3 goals I need to achieve tomorrow to grow my business? All right, I'm going to message, I'm going to follow up with these people. I'm going to make a call to action on my Instagram stories. I'm going to talk about ketones, or I'm going to plan that keto life party and put that date down on the book, because that's the hardest thing to do, right? So like, and do that every night. Like, and I know you're like, what? But like, do it every night before you go to bed. And you can keep the same 3 goals every single week or every single day for personal, right? Because you're not going to change you're not going to change your mindset by practicing something one day. It's repetitive over and over and over and over and over again. And so find a way to reflect upon that, right? And at the end of the night, take a look at what you wrote the day before and be honest with yourself, because if you let yourself off the hook, you are the only person that loses that, right? Cheat yourself. Like that's all you're doing. Are you doing it? Like you have to be your best and worst boss. Like, are you doing the things to grow your business? Are you doing the things to grow your personal growth, right? Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. And if you put all of your focus on one thing, right? The other stuff is going to be there, but it's like weeds, right? They're going to start getting out of control. Your inbox is like, you're like, oh, like, and I'm saying this because like, guys, like everything I share with you, I'm not sharing with you because I'm preaching to you. I'm sharing with you from a place of been there, done that, experienced it. Like, I feel like there's so many people and there's so many leaders on this call that can attest that like there are seasons and cycles and phases in your business where like you get to a point where like I came home from that vacation and I would open my inbox and I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not touching that inbox. Like it freaked me out, right? But I was like, I just gotta focus on myself and like getting my mindset right. And I was doing that and I was tending the flowers of my mindset, which sometimes we need, but guess what was happening to my inbox? It became a fucking bed of weeds that I like had to get a weed whacker and go in there and cut down, right? Like tend to both so that they both grow. You can nurture them both. And like, that is like, those are the 2 things. Like that's the mindset and the structure that you're going to need to get moving to hitting that champ. And so while this was a lot of like a basic overview, like we're going to be hitting a bunch of different things on these calls that are going to be focusing on like very tactical skills to get to COC, right? We're going to talk about mindset because mindset's huge. And we're also going to talk about really tactical things because you need both of them. And that was it for tonight, is just like being able to do that. And so my call to action for you guys and like some homework I would love for you guys to do is sit down tonight and set your 6 goals for tomorrow. What 3 personal goals do you want to work on tomorrow? And what 3 professional goals are you working on tomorrow for growth in your business and growth in yourself? And they could be anything that like you feel good about, and then track them tomorrow or track however you're tracking and then reflect upon it. Like just see where you are, because if you don't reflect and you don't look back, you're going to be like, wait a second, like, why is that happening? Why am I getting sidetracked? Why am I losing time, right? Like you can't find that unless you don't look back and reflect and be honest with yourself of like where you need to focus your energy on. So that's it. It was nice seeing everyone. Does anyone have any questions? Anything they want to share for the good before we hop off? Anything exciting? New? No? If you guys see me tomorrow in a hazmat suit, it's because there's this massive I'm going to walk around my house in a hazmat suit. All right. So I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. And they are not making babies. That is disgusting. I will never sleep again. They might be. It was like a dance out there. But okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Love you guys, and I'll see you later.